Porn star kills herself after being bullied for refusing to shoot with man who does gay scenes. August Ames was labelled homophobic for choosing not to work with a man who does gay scenes. On Tuesday morning, 23-year-old porn star Angus Ames was found dead from an apparent suicide after she was bullied and branded a homophobe for refusing to shoot with a man who has sex with men on camera. Ames made it clear that she, of course, was refusing to do so work because of safety reasons and was not homophobic. Although that didn't stop him, that's for sure. So in case you guys are wondering what's to go with the safety reasons, they do talk about it, but I'll quickly touch on it now. Obviously, with two guys having sex, there is a higher risk of HIV being passed. Also, there are other diseases that you can get as well. Now, considering that she's actually based in a state that has just recently lowered the actual fine or the punishment for actually knowingly passing on HIV, I don't really see a problem with her actually taking care and being a little bit more cautious. But let's keep going. According to The Blast, law enforcement sources tell us Ames was found early Tuesday morning in Calamino. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and we're told that there is no indication of foul play or other crime occurring. We're told toxicity tests are also being conducted while the death is investigated. The report added close friends of Ames tell us that she had suffered from long-term depression and believe that recent incidents with online harassments may have contributed to her death. The backlash was fierce when Ames took to Twitter on Sunday to warn the women who had been taped to replace her erotic ex that the man she'd be working with has filmed other men, thus putting her at a high risk of contracting disease. Yeah, that's an understatement. 3 days she was harassed online. Like, phew. We'll get to all this in a sec, don't worry. After being ridiculed as homophobe, the porn star explained that she was merely looking out for her own safety by refusing to do work with men who do gay scenes. Not homophobic, she wrote. Most girls do not shoot with guys who have shot gay porn for safety. That's how it is with me. I'm not putting my body at risk. I don't know what they do in their private lives. How am I homophobic if I'm attracted to women? She responded to another Twitter user's attacks. Not wanting to have sex with gay men is not homophobic. They do not want to have sex with me either, so bye. Many women who have made it out of the porn industry, such as former porn star Shelley LaBeouf, are actively highlighting the damage the industry does to young women who are typically suffering mental and emotionally before they enter their line of work. LaBeouf runs a site called The Truth Behind the Fantasy of Porn, which exposes the industry's dark underbelly through the eyes of the actors or actresses entangled in drug abuse, depression, and disease. I hang out with a lot of people in the adult industry, writes former porn star Brie Bratt. Everyone has the same problems. Everyone is on drugs. It's an empty lifestyle trying to fill up that void. The truth is, I let my lifestyle get the best of me. I hate life. I'm a mess, a disaster. I've attempted suicide many times, says Nee, another former porn actress. No one cares about dead porn star or stripper. I'm not happy, says porn star Belladonna. I don't like myself at all. My whole entire body feels like when I'm doing it, and it feels so gross. As noted by Lifestyle News, Belladonna broke down during a 2003 interview with Diane Sawyer regarding the industry. You keep describing these awful things that happen to you, yet you keep smiling. Why, Sawyer? It's so I don't start crying, she replied, but as her eyes filled with tears. So, first things first, let's talk about her original statement. Do gay men have a high chance of passing on an STD? Well, the answer, shortly, yes, they do. The average HIV transmission rate during anal sex is established to be 18 times higher than the rate during vaginal intercourse. And apart from that, also just below that, men who practice receptive, unprotected anal intercourse at a high risk of contracting HIV. Men who practice insensitive, unprotected anal intercourse are more likely to transmit HIV to their partners. This contribution optimizes the spread of HIV between gay men in a way not seen in heterosexual couples. So yeah, I do not see any problem with what she's saying. It is actually factually accurate. Now, yes, while it is also true that everybody undergoes a HIV test when they're in the adult industry, it is also entirely possible that you may have HIV and not actually show up. For example, it approximately takes 25 days for an individual immune system to detect the HIV virus and make antibodies against it. During the time before the antibodies are made, the HIV antibody test will be negative, even though the virus is present. So even if these guys were to go and get tested like everybody else, there is a chance that they have the HIV in their system and not possibly be detected. And at the end of the day, considering the fact that she doesn't want to work with an actor who is actually at a higher risk of contracting the HIV disease or virus, and at the end of the day, even with the screening and testing, could be present in their systems for up to 25 days before it's detected, you cannot blame her. So let's talk about the harassment side of this argument or this story, because this is obviously where things get a little crazy, and by crazy I mean pretty friggin' crazy. So Sylvia Stage was one of the persons or one of the people that was actually giving her a hard time. Even after finding out that Angus has actually killed herself, her response is, well, compassionate, of course. Yeah, totally. Someone actually responded, yep, didn't even try to teach her about a mistake, just full on made a fun of her for her clout. Then Sylvia responded, not true, only wish I had more time to educate her. Yes, even after the porn star or Angus Ames has died, what's Sylvia Stage's response? Well, it's a pity that she's dead because now I don't have enough time to educate her before she's died. Really, people? Then, of course, we move on to the lovely case of Bruce Benham. Yes, condolences for the irreparable loss and sorrow are never publicly or privately wished Angus Ames self-harm or violence. Suicide is never a solution for anyone, no matter what. Rip young girls, I'm sorry for calling you homophobic without instigating private discourse. Which sounds great, only problem was earlier he was turning around saying, today friends, performers and fans are attributing blame to myself and others who weighed in. For the record, I'm sorry for her loss of life and whatever personal struggles caused her to choose to end her own life when faced with confrontation, accountability and education. Now, what does he actually mean? Well, the way I read this is, for the record, I'm not sorry for her loss of life and whatever personal struggles caused her to choose her own life when she was faced with the confrontation that we massively put against her because we decided to brand her on the internet as a homophobe, the accountability that she had for deciding to actually decide to make her own decision regarding her own body, and the education is the fact that she would not come around to our way of thinking. And then earlier on that, on the 6th of December, on Monday, I called out a homophobic performer for her ignorance and uneducated bias. She allegedly chose to end her own life when she is exposed to the same virtue that the gay people have been exposed to globally for decades. Even after this girl has died, he is still trying to virtue signal. Wow, that takes some piece of shit. And then we get to the last piece of shit, which is Sir Jackson Wheeler, who actually told Angus Ames to, quote, the world is waiting for your apology or for you to swallow a cyanide pill. Either or, we'll take it. Yeah, and then after that, then had the audacity to turn around and claim that he never wished her any harm. Really? Because this tweet kind of contradicts what you're saying there. But hey, maybe you should go and check that out. Oh, by the way, this is the same piece of shit who's also since gone through and privated his Twitter account so people can't see all the negative shit he said to her. Funny that, isn't it? So what's the takeaway on all this? Well, at the end of the day, I love the fact that the LGBTP plus whatever community has decided to harass a woman for deciding to do what she wants with her own body. Yes, you know, the people that walk around claiming they're doing the slut walks because it's my body and I should be able to do what I want with it. Well, basically not, because these are the same people that have gone through and harassed this poor girl for doing what she wants to do with her own body, to the point where she has probably decided to kill herself. It's funny how they don't seem to want to apply the same rules to themselves, but yet they want to apply it to everybody else. Look, at the end of the day, guys, she was fully in a right to reject this offer. Obviously, she doesn't have to do the work if she doesn't want to. She can decide who she does or does not work with. And at the end of the day, also, she had a medical reason why she didn't want to work with them. So at the end of the day, stiff shit. And this is a complete waste of a human life that probably should have never happened. And in fact, all three people that have gone through and have harassed this poor girl and anybody else that I could possibly find should be removed from the porn industry. Never ever to work ever again, because the porn industry already has a bad reputation with bullies and harassment. The last thing that they producers want is having 3 more people at the very least who have decided to harass a poor woman to the point where she has actually killed herself. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What do you think should happen to these 3 people? What do you think that should happen? If anything, do you reckon they should be let off? Do you reckon they should be charged? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.